This just in, a federal judge has blocked, rightfully, legally, and constitutionally, Donald Trump's mass deportation efforts. What type of mass deportation efforts did Judge James block? Well, he blocked specifically Donald Trump's enactation of the Alien Enemies Act of 1978. Why did he block the enactation of the Alien Act, or the Alien Enemies Act of 1998 or 1798? Let's figure that reason out and explore it in today's video and break it down and explore that reason. This reporting is by NPR. The article is titled, Federal Judge Blocks Plan to Target Alien Enemies for Deportation. And the article reads, in his latest move to clamp down on illegal immigration and immigration more broadly, President Trump has filed a presidential action invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1987, a seldom used law, not act, that gives the presidential authority to detain or deport nationals of an enemy nation during wartime. It's only the fourth time in American history a president has used the act, and the first since World War II. The directive targets members of Aragua, a Venezuelan prison gang, and authorizes expedited removal of all Venezuelan citizens 14 and older deemed to be members of the organization who are not U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents. According to the presidential action, those people are liable to be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as alien enemies. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg issued an order hours after President Trump invoked the wartime power, stopping the administration from using it to deport anyone, adding that the administration should turn planes already in the sky around. Earlier in the day, a lawsuit brought by the American Civil Liberties Union and Democracy Forward, Boasberg had blocked the administration from deporting 5 Venezuelan men for 14 days. Which will be 15 days when this is 13 days when this is uploaded. Another hearing on the matter will take place on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, to be clear, the article is referring to this Friday that is upcoming for the hearing, not this next Friday, this coming Friday. Continuing with the article. An executive action signed in January that designated Tren de Aragu as a foreign terrorism organization paved the way for the direct removal of its members from the U.S. territory under the Alien Enemies Act, declaring they, along with MS-13 gang, which is a gang with origins in El Salvador, not included in Saturday's action. Quote, present as unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy. End quote. The expedited removal process allowed under the Act means that those subject to the President's declaration would not go through the normal immigration court process or be able to claim asylum. Advocates fear that invoking the act would also open the door to targeting and deportations of other individuals regardless of their status or criminal records. There's nothing in the law itself that would require it to be limited to undocumented individuals or individuals who have committed crimes. The center-left Brennan Center for Justice said. Catherine Yon Imbright, who is a counsel for on the Liberty and the National Security Team at the center-left Brennan Center for Justice, said. It's not about legal status, consistent with the idea that it's a wartime authority, not an immigration authority, end quote. It is also and unclear It is also unclear how the inclusion of minors in the president's action Saturday will play into legal challenges. Trump has laid the groundwork to bring back the old law. Trump threatened 2 days move since his early days on the campaign trail in 2023. In several rallies, he vowed to, quote, invoke the Alien Enemies Act to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network, end quote. Immigration was a top theme throughout his campaign, during which he also promised the largest deportation action in the country's history. At the Republican National Convention last July, the GOP committed to invoke the Alien Enemies Act to remove all known or suspected gang members, drug dealers, or cartel members from the United States as part of the party platform. Trump has also argued that the act would give tremendous authority for immigration law enforcement, detentions, and deportations conducted through the act would not go through the immigration court system and would allow Trump to bypass the traditional deportation process, according to Morgan Bailey, who served as the Deputy Chief Justice of Staff, the Deputy Chief of Staff, not the Deputy Chief Justice of Staff, at the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services during Trump's first term, which includes appearing before a judge. Under the Alien Enemies Act, this aspect of going through each of these steps is abbreviated, and there isn't an aspect of showing or allowing the individual to have their day in court before the immigration judge, end quote. Bailey, Bailey said, quote, rather than the person could be deported. My editorial edition, simply based upon the aspect of whether or not they are a national of a particular country, end quote. Legal challenges to enforcing the act remain. The Alien and Enemies Act is the last of the 4 Alien and Sedition Acts. The other 3, which have been repealed or expired, it allows the president to detain or relocate or deport non-citizens from foreign nations, from a foreign nation or government considered an enemy during wartime. The last time the act was invoked, was World War II, during which 31,000 suspected enemy aliens of mostly Japanese, Italian, and German descent were placed in internment camps and military facilities. The law requires war to be formally declared, which only Congress has the authority to do. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this may or may not be an overreach and an overstepping action of Donald Trump. It remains to be seen at this time. So far, it is playing out, however, to be an overstep and an unconstitutional authoritarian act, which will hopefully play out to be causing him to be impeached, rightfully, legally, and constitutionally, because no president is a king nor is above the law. George Fisherman, who is a senior legal fellow at the Conservative Center for Immigration Studies and former Deputy General Counsel at the Department of Homeland Security during the first Trump administration, has been a strong proponent of the act. Still, he has acknowledged the legal challenges in defining illegal immigration as an invasion and labeling gangs as foreign nations. It'll be an uphill struggle to get the federal court to sign off on its use. Fisherman said, quote, "Federal courts have never up until now brought off in massive illegal immigration as getting the definition of invasion under the U.S. Constitution use of the term," end quote. But he said that the question of invasion and predatory incursion could still be reasonably argued in court. Immigration rights groups, including the American Civil Liberties Union, are already fighting the effort and have urged local governments to put in place measures that limit the use of local resources to assist with immigration enforcement. Legal experts also say there is legal precedent that may make this difficult as well. Albright said that the historical efforts to make wartime powers into peacetime immigration enforcement have never succeeded in the courts. Continuing with the last paragraph to the article. Quote, challenges will come from the nonprofit sector, advocacy space, as well as from states, and very well could result in the courts striking down an effort to use the Alien Enemies Act, end quote, Ebright said. Quote, but it is not completely clear what the courts will do, end quote. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's legal breaking analysis reporting. If you did enjoy this legal breaking analysis reporting, please, by NPR, please do consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, as well as helping me reach the overall channel goal for the channel of 130 plus subscribers. The reason why I'm saying 130 plus subscribers is because after we reach the overall channel goal of 130 plus subscribers, we have more subscribers to reach after we reach and achieve the overall channel goal of 130 subscribers. A few things before the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen, is one. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and enjoy, as well as comment your support, obviously. If you want to make sure that you never miss a brand new video, please make sure that you hit the bell icon that is right next to the subscribe button down below the screen here on the right hand side of the subscribe button. Another way you guys can stay up to date on when I post a brand new legal breaking analysis video reporting update is by following me on my social medias. That'll be linked that'll be linked down below the video, in the video description, along with the very important vital news article link from NPR regarding this potentially illegal situation. That is all, ladies and gentlemen, for today's video. Until my next reporting, please stay safe and please stay positive, and I will look forward to talking to you guys in my next legal breaking analysis reporting.